What's up, guys? TAUNT with VPX Baseball. Hey, we're going to talk about keeping our hips closed into landing and not having premature hip rotation right here, okay? Because I'm going to talk you through a series of drills that are going to help you out with this. Obviously, we all know that our power and our velo and our juice is going to come from our lower half, okay? Well, if that's the case, then I better stay loaded and closed on my lower half, because if I'm going to say, and you're correct in saying it, that all my power, I'm going to get my energy from the ground and up, then I better still be in my backside when I hit the ground, okay? But common issues guys have, I'll go ahead and face you for this, common issues guys have that we see all ages is that for 80% of the way, golden, right? So, almost all there and then open, right? Rotating to get the front foot down. Another issue we see is right at separation, here, open, or forward, and that forward top heavy action right there forces the issue, and my hip has to blow out so my body can get back into dynamic balance, okay? Check out our other videos for an explanation on dynamic balance, what it entails, and how to improve it, right? But essentially what it means is your body just always trying to get back into balance. There is no set static balance point when we're talking about athletic movement. There's not. It's your body always counterbalancing to try to stay in balance, okay? It's just like when you walk, right? You go downhill, your body reclines. You go uphill, it leans forward to counteract. So we're gonna go ahead and address one of those issues in our first drill, okay? I've got one of our foam rollers right here. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna start in separation and I'm gonna work this move, okay? Because again, where a lot of guys go wrong is they're here ready to go and then it's around, right? Or top heavy, which forces around. So what I'm gonna do is I've got this thing in front of me, and I'm just gonna touch it, right? So I'm gonna start in my separation. And again, what we want obviously is this move where my hip stays loaded, okay? Of course it's gonna turn a little bit as you get down, especially when you're working on a bump, but we can't have it just blow out and turn right here. It's gonna be as I get down, bang, right? So I'm gonna be here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna touch, okay? Now, the great thing about this is, the direction of this roller is going to tell you what you need to know. So let's just say I do spin out and you're one of those guys, because as you do these drills, you're going to find out a lot about what's actually happening, right? So what if I do that? What if I'm here and I am a swing guy? Well, it's going to look like this, and you see what happens. Okay, I'm off to the side now. So even if I can't necessarily be like, yeah, I'm doing that, I can see what's going on with the roller here. Okay, love this drill. It's very simple. Do it one more time correctly for you. We're just looking to scoot it forward. In that, we're trying to catch our body in that move to start down the hill. So again, I'm here, ball out, glove up, I just touch and go down, okay? Really simple, really effective, gives you feedback you need to get this done, okay? Now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna come up on the bump for you guys. Get this thing out of the way. Okay, I've got our VPX harness on here, okay? Invaluable tool to make sure we're staying connected, staying loaded, maximizing our energy. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and hook in to our backside right here, okay? This harness is used by over 22 major league organizations because it gives you feedback and the ability to take the verbiage that you're working on and put it into your motor pattern, okay? So what it's gonna do is, if I get disconnected by rotating too early or getting top heavy that causes me to rotate too early, this thing's gonna pull my back foot up, letting me know immediately that that's happening, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work a 3-step drill here, right here. Our hip drive initially should be this, right? Notice it's coming from that. It should not be my front hip going and leading the way. That's not what happens. Our front leg does not dictate the move down into the ground, right? Our back hip does. But again, what happens is so often guys do let their front leg dictate what's going on and get this way. And it just, so much energy just leaves and dissipates and you can't use it. And then you get in the ground and you're just left to whatever you can muster up with your hand. And that's why you see guys throw the same speed at 16 as they do at 18, right? Because they just never get any more out of their body, right? So, what we're gonna do, and the great thing about this harness is, even with this simple move I'm gonna show you, it's designed to be sensitive to drift so much and to early rotation that it's gonna point it out if it happens, right? So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come here, ball out again, right? Glove up, and I'm gonna push. 1, 2, and now I'm gonna go land. 3. Now when we land, here's some things, some checklists that we can go down, okay? I'm pointed to home plate, I've got my power tee there, but look at my upper body. As a left-handed pitcher, when I land, I should still be facing the first baseman, where he's playing. As a righty, be the third baseman, right? So I'm here. Now, your hip's gonna be right about there, okay? But I don't wanna be out here. And look what happened immediately when I did that, okay? Boom, and there's my tightness, okay? So what I want is to still be loaded, no tension here, right? Loaded, stacked, ready to go. Now watch what happens if I do this incorrectly, okay? Keep your eyes right here and watch what happens on this bungee, okay? So I'm here, and if I go 1, immediately starts. If I go 1, immediately starts to pull. Because what it's designed to do is feel that move or this move, right? And I'm telling you, super common issue is the back hip will drive, but this will also drive. Or this will go from this point, right? You see guys all the time, where they get up here, they get into their lift, and then it's out. Can't have it. We have to work into the slope of the mound this way. Okay, not this way or that way. Down and in, okay? How far of a down move you have is gonna vary on the individual, but you have to have it some degree of a downward move so that you can work into the slope, keep your hips closed longer, okay? So again, right here, 1, 2. Now I'm gonna push, boom. Into my landing, here I am, to home plate, stacked and loaded, ready to go. One thing to keep in mind when you're doing this drill, okay, and check out other videos, we mentioned this in a few other cases. Like I said earlier, your back hip has to dictate what's going on. So we're not gonna reach with our front leg, we're gonna push our back hip out. That's one way we can really help ourselves stay closed, okay? Probably the biggest reason people fly open too early is because they use their front leg to dictate this move. That's not it. It has to come from back here. So I'm here. So in other words, if I take this leg and go like this, reach, absolutely I'm gonna open. Pulled up right here, I got no shot right here, okay? Because I took my front leg and tried to get the distance. What we want is to use the back hip to get the distance. And that's gonna keep our hips closed longer and allow us to stay on the pitch, keep our front side in longer because we're not forcing the issue and blowing open, right? So in other words, when I make that move, this has to push. I'm not lunging with my front leg or reaching with it. I'm pushing hard with this, which is taking my front leg out there. Totally different deal. Because now I can stay under control and close instead of being this guy. So then my hand's gonna start and then my rotation happens. That's the difference between being here and being there. And as you all know watching, I'm way better from here than I am from here. This is not sustainable, okay? So again, the drill when done correctly will look like this. I'm gonna go to separation. 1, nothing from the bungees. 2, and push, down. Okay, and there I am. So home plate, hips closed, nothing here. If you do this drill and you feel pull, or you have anything turned, we know we blew open. Okay, so we need to make sure our back hip's dictating it on this. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and keep the harness on here, and I'm gonna do another one for you, okay? What I'm gonna do here, and I'm gonna leave it on the back because I wanna really work on staying loaded all the way into the ground. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna start in my power tee. Okay, and again, we're talking about our hips here, right? So we're gonna stay closed. Doesn't mean be like this, right? I'm still gonna be here. It means not letting this hip travel that way. Okay, so I'm gonna be here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be right here, and I'm gonna go up and down. And then I'm gonna throw, but I'm gonna keep this back leg up. Here's why I have this on the back. Because if I drift forward during that up move, right, so I go like this, it's gonna pull me. I'm not even gonna be able to pull this drill off. Okay, I literally won't be able to because I'm already gonna be like this. So the feedback I'm getting from this harness is gonna let me know if I am staying loaded. Okay, so I'm gonna be here, up, down, and again, I'm gonna throw and lead this up. There we are, okay? Now, if I don't hit that firm front side, so if I'm like this, and I'm, oh, see, I can't hold that up, right? So if I go to throw, and I'm open, there's no way I can pull this drill off. right? I'm open, I'm gonna just come across this thing. As soon as I did that, pulls me up. But if I move correctly this way, it's not pulling me right now. And then I'm through, okay? So let me do it again for you correctly here. So I'm here, boom, and I'm gonna drive this way, not this way. And up, and there we are, okay? If we don't spin off doing that drill, then we've accomplished what we're trying to accomplish. If you spin off, you got no shot to keep that thing down, okay? Do it one more time for you. Up, down, still closed. I can feel this front hip in, no feedback, boom. See, I'm open. See that? So as soon as I threw that ball, this harness took over, or excuse me, as soon as I rotated, this harness took over because I blew open, fell off to that side. So I'm gonna fix it. So what happened? This. Here we go. Now I'm gonna keep it in and drive this way. There we are. The difference between you driving on this pitch this way and driving on this pitch this way, humongous, right? And you saw on the one before that, as soon as I moved, boom, no shot here anymore. This harness pointed it out to me immediately, and then I wasn't able to stay on line. But as soon as I did it correctly and drove linear, no issues. Hip stayed closed. I didn't hit my hip till here instead of here, and I was able to get down angle and support to home plate. Okay, I'm gonna show you one more, and I'm gonna go ahead and unhook from this, and I'm gonna grab our torsion hip loop. Another invaluable piece that's gonna help you work on your hip drive, okay, and staying closed. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab our hip loop. Okay, this thing, unbelievable. It's gonna point out when I get out of whack, right? When my knees get outside and I start to become disproportionate on one side or the other, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and step into this, and I'm gonna go from my separation point, and we're gonna work a hip drive. Okay, so I'm gonna go just above the knees. Okay. And what I'm gonna do, again, I'm gonna work the move from my separation to the ground, which, again, is a lot of times where this type of stuff comes into play, okay? People blow open. So I'm gonna be here, and I'm gonna catch it right there on my way to the ground. That's where it happens most times. So, to give you a visual, if I'm this guy and I blow around, watch what happens, okay? So if I'm this guy, immediately it pulls my back foot. Why did it pull my back foot? Well, because my front leg was getting too far away and I was becoming unstacked, right? So I was here, around, started to pull. Also, if I get out this way, here's another big one, right? Knee gets outside. I'm sure you guys have all seen this guy, okay? But they do it this way. Knee gets out, you have to counter. No good. So what I want on this is I don't want to receive feedback on either leg, and that's going to tell me that I'm staying stacked, staying inside where I should, and my leverage points at the inside of my front leg and back leg are still being achieved. So I'm right here, and I'm just going to go to the ground, and I'm going to push from my hip, not from my front leg. That's the key with this drill, is to get you to not initiate this with your front leg. Push, no issues. No issues, right? Because I was under control pushing down the hill. See my hips closed, foot's here, good to go. But if my front foot drives it, see, it's gonna happen every time, and you know right away, oh yeah, I blew out. Because a lot of times guys are like, I don't think I'm moving around. No, you are, but now this is gonna help you see that, right? So again, if you are that guy and you're this way, yep, right away. So good rep. I'm gonna work down and into the slope, keeping this hip in. Boom. There we are. No issues. Okay? I would highly recommend doing this drill with this hip loop because it's going to give you the feedback you need so it takes the guesswork out. Right? Push, initiate with the back hip, straight down the hill. Boom. Keeping my hips in my delivery is an absolute must in order to get the most out of your pitches every time. Check out the rest of the lessons in this series for how we can help you up your game and make your stuff maximized every time. We also got a full line of products on our website to help get you to the big leagues.